Hello, my name is Sydney Cox, and I decided to research the class struggle in the Pixar film A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life is a 1998 film that follows the journey of misfit worker ant Flick through his realization of the defeatist structure of his colony. The worker ant colony is designed to appease a group of marauding grasshoppers that take the harvest from the ant colony each season. When Flick destroys the harvest that the ants so painstakingly put together for the grasshoppers, he is sent away to find warrior bugs to help the defeatist grasshopper reign of terror. Instead, he bands together with a circus bug troupe under the ruse that they can defeat the grasshoppers. In the 1990s, Disney was going through a type of company renaissance as they were creating and releasing well-received animated films such as Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and The Little Mermaid. Pixar was a newly formed computer animation studios, and Disney quickly began to collaborate with them. After the success of their first film, A Toy Story, in 1995, A Bug's Life had the traction to become a box office hit. Released in 1998 and directed by Pixar frontrunner John Lasseter, the film went on to make $300 million in the big box office. It was evident that computer animation was about to become the new animation frontier. The foundation for A Bug's Life came from the Aesop fable, The Ant and the Grasshopper, but production knew that they needed a misfit character for audiences to follow in this epic journey in a small world. They went on to create Flick, a worker ant with revolutionary outlooks on life. Seen in the top picture, Flick went through various stages before finally becoming the character we know today. Additionally, the production team wanted to really understand how bugs work. To do this, they studied nature footage and finally understood just how big the world can be for such a small creature. With the addition of computer animation, the team could design over 400 crowd scenes, with each ant in the shot fully animated and acting. The film also saw a new record for animation film budgets at $120 million. Here are some early drawings for the film. You can see that each stage is important and may lead to a final product unlike anything from the early stages. The fan favorite character of Heimlich, the caterpillar, went from a drawing of a very clown-esque design and makeup to finally becoming the green and blue caterpillar we know in the film. The grasshoppers were first drawn with dark, menacing eyes, which were later changed. In this clip, we can see a crowd scene towards the end of the film. Notice how many ants towards the sides and the back that are moving and animated, rather than being still drawings.
And year after year, they somehow manage to pick food for themselves and you. So who is the weaker species? Ants don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who need us. We're a lot stronger than you say we are. And year after year...
Moving on to my focus of the film. Many Pixar films surround ideas that can be seen as commentary about the real world. In A Bug's Life, we see a class struggle between the working class ants and the bourgeoisie grasshoppers. The grasshoppers want food and power that use the worker ants for their own personal gain. This concept offers a humanization of the bugs, in the sense of the way that political and economic gain can sway a group to believe that they are on top, while another group may be doing all the work. This movie is a class allegory with subjects relating to taxes, as in the food that the ants have to give to the grasshoppers each season, the power that the grasshoppers hold over the ants, and the colony, and the divide between good and evil. Pixar exemplifies this primarily through the way that characters are designed, the good, Flick, and the evil, Hopper. The film also depicts colonialism and the oppression of a native people. The film defines oppression of the native colony as the upper class that thrust themselves into a position of power through the exploitation of the working class. It reinforces the idea that the people in power often exploit and expand a native colony, in this case ants, and use it for their own personal gain. Here in this scene, we really begin to realize how Hopper views the ants, his working class.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay?
And in this scene, we see Flick finally speak the truth against Hopper.
You piece of dirt. No, I'm wrong. You're lower than dirt. You're an ant.
Let this be a lesson to all you ants. Ideas are very dangerous things.
You are mindless, soil-shoving losers, put on this earth to serve us.
You're wrong, Hopper. Ants are not meant to serve grasshoppers. I've seen these ants do great things. And year after year, they somehow manage to pick food for themselves and you. So who is the weaker species? Ants don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who need us.
As the film reinforces against colonialism, the film celebrates individualism and ingenuity as well. Specifically in Flick, as he is constantly pushing the boundaries in his colony. He saves the colony through hard work and inventive brilliance, along with the help of the Band of Misfit circus troupe. The film introduces the class struggle of colonialism to its audience, primarily their younger audience, making it easy to understand that through bravery, the bourgeoisie can be defeated. The film helps audiences understand ideas about class structure. It highlights the fact that there is a division between the upper class and the lower classes, which often lead to audiences believing that a higher class is an evil one. And typically, class structures are seen through the lens of the lower class rather than the upper class. We also notice that the archetype of a band of misfits to the rescue is used in this film. It helps create an easy visualization of the bigger idea for children as they learn to understand the tyrants of the world. A Bug's Life was praised for the technological advances of the use of computer animation. It opens up more storytelling possibilities and more ability to create characters and moving themes. The animation allowed for the class struggle to be easily understood through the eyes of a child. Many critics also deemed that this story could not be told without animation. The message of class struggle becomes more apparent in rewatches of the film, and we as an audience should relate to Flick through this class divide. The Pixar-Disney team-up has created a number of films with important lessons and themes to understand the commentary they offer about the world.